All right, everyone. Thank you very much for waiting. Thanks for coming by and checking out the new channel as well as the new series that we have. This is again, 59 Gaming. Appreciate you being here. This is going to be the Dokkan portion only. So this podcast for the next half an hour to an hour or however long, we'll see how this goes. It's going to be just Dokkan. Tomorrow at about 2 p.m. Eastern will be the Legends portion. So check them out then. And here we go. So as you know, I am Nolar, but today we have an MC, an actual person who's going to host everything. So that is going to be Sunblade. Sunblade, go ahead and take it.
Yeah, thank you, Nola. And with that, I would like to kick off 59 Gaming's Dokkan Battle Podcast, Episode 1, Part 3, Content Free, guys. So, yeah, my name is Sunblade, and I am a content creator from Germany and will be your host for today. Welcome, everybody. With that said, I'm delighted to introduce our guests. Our first guest for Episode 1 is the masked Ningen, our Super Battle Road King from the United Kingdom. Say hello, Ningen.
Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's good to be here.
Yeah, very nice to have you on here. Then we will continue with another guest from the United Kingdom. Please say hello to Gale Riot.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I hope everybody's having a lovely day.
Sure have. All right, now I'll get to the core of 59 Gaming. Welcome, Goresh.
Well, it's good to be here on the new channel. Got a new feel to it. You guys can let us know what you think about this. Definitely going to be some interesting stuff coming your way. So, keep that in mind. It's going to be experimental too, but we're going to try and keep everything as professional as possible here. So.
Yep. All right. Next, I will head all the way to Japan and introduce Talon. Konnichiwa, or well, Ohio gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu, everyone. Talon here. Yes, it's morning in Japan, but happy to be here and happy with the new format we got going so far.
Right, and last but not least, you heard him already. A lot of you guys know him as Nanolar these days, but please welcome Nolar.
Hey, thank you very much, Sunblade. Again, this is a kind of going to be experimental, as Goresh said, and we're looking forward to providing you better production quality. You just let us know what you guys think, suggestions and all that down below in the comments. And let's get started on our first topic.
Yeah, all right, perfect. So we have 4 topics for today and a couple of questions afterwards. If you want to get your question featured on episode 2, please make sure to follow our Twitter account and let us know your question when we request those for the respective episode. You will find the link to our Twitter account in the description along with the YouTube channels of today's contributors. So, yeah, now let's start with our first topic. This legendary summon LR came out on September 16th, and I wanted to get a final verdict from you guys on Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta. What's your opinion and where would you put him? Is he one of the best units in the game? Why don't you kick things off, Ningen? You pulled him first multi, so yeah, please tell us about your experiences.
His banner hasn't been as kind to me since then, though, because I have to say I really, really like him. He's very quickly becoming one of, if not my favorite LRs in the game. So, but unfortunately, that has led me to go back in for more multis on the banner, and my luck kind of turned around a little bit. So I'm going to have to settle with him at 55% for now. But yeah, I'm really, really impressed with him. On one of his better teams, like with a 170 attack lead and a Majin Buu Saga Goku on the rotation, I've got him up to over 8 million attack stat on the turn that you use his active skill, which for a unit with no dupes is pretty good. So I think he's really good in his prime. And then I did actually do a video a couple of days ago, I think, where I used his leader skill to run an all Vegeta team. So obviously there was no Goku on the team. So whilst you can't use his entire kit, he was still really good. I used Goresh's rainbow version, and he was hitting still up to like 5 million attack stats without a Goku even on the team. So I think he's really, really good. I don't know if I would go as far as to say he's a contender for best unit in the game, but I do think he is very, very good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. As for me, as you guys might remember, I pulled Vegeta live on the podcast last week and was able to test him out on a Super Saiyan 2 team, and he worked really well on there. yeah, as you said, I wouldn't say that he is a contender for the best unit in the game, but he really improves teams like Super Physical in general, I think, with his leader skill. And I'm very happy about the Vegeta's lineage team now, or well, Vegeta's family. This team needed a buff, in my opinion. And yeah, aside from that, his active skill is my favorite moment in the entire series. So
Yeah.
I'm a little biased anyway, but
Yeah, same. It's super up there for me. So I was always going to love this card because Vegeta's been my favorite character for the longest time. Like I have a Super Saiyan Vegeta tattoo. So, you know, I was always going to love this unit.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Yeah, didn't know that. And of course, Nolar and Goresh have Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta Rainbowed. What are your experiences?
I guess I'll go first. So, yeah, this Vegeta's really, really good. The only sort of gripe that I have with him is the fact that he's limited to pretty much being ran alongside a Goku from the Majin Buu saga. And he's definitely usable outside of having him, alongside that Goku, but I feel like a lot of this unit's value comes from the active skill. So if you can't get that active skill to happen in, like, let's say Super Battle Road, he's definitely good, but he's not anywhere close to that level where, you pop the active skill and you can pretty much just guarantee that one of the units that you're fighting is going to be dead. Not to mention his defense is like over 400k or something after he uses his active skill. So it's I don't know. It's very, very tough to say because on his best team, this is very similar to what we saw with LR Trunks and Goten, the Go Bros, when they came out. Like you had to build the team around them specifically, but if you did, they were like insane. This Vegeta, you don't have to build the entire team around this Vegeta, but you have to make sure that you have the right Goku there because then, busts his active skill out, gets the unit super attack, he gets the extra ki. It just makes it so much easier for him to be dominant. So, yeah, he's really good with a Goku. Without a Goku, he's still usable, but it's a completely different level.
Yeah, basically what Goresh just said. I did a super physical Extreme Super Battle Road run with him. I did put a Goku on rotation, and he was hitting under like a 130 and a 120 lead. Like I used the Gohan as lead. He was still hitting 8 million, almost 9 million attack stats, active skill, all that. So again, he has great potential. He's just kind of limited in the sense that to get to that potential, you have to bring Goku from the Majin Buu saga. And again, if you don't bring him, he's not a terrible card. It's just, unfortunately, at least for me, I would love to play with the unit at its most potential as much as possible. In that sense, you can only really do it in like a couple of teams and a couple setups. But he's not a bad card by any means. So, and again, I echo everything Ningen and Sunblade said about, that active skill is a very, like, it hits the feels. And she's like, yeah, that's a good one. So, for sure.
Yeah. So I know, Talon, that you haven't summoned on the banner, of course, but would you like to add something? Have you played with the unit as a friend leader?
Yes, so I had a chance to play with him as a friend. I think I took Nolar's actually, but I did kind of the same thing in Extreme Super Battle Road, so facing off against a Extreme Int team, and I used the LR Gohan or as a 120 lead, and then I used him as the friend lead. So he was getting 130 for him, or is it 150? 130? It's
154 key for
154 key. So he gets 150 from himself and then 120 from the Gohan. And I took the Super Saiyan 2 EZA Goku, who is on the Majin Buu category, and he was doing work. He was definitely doing work. Defense isn't the greatest, and when I use greatest here, I mean like he's not tanking double digits automatically before a super attack and blocking every single attack and all that fun stuff. So they use an item here and there. But overall, he was very impressive. It was super easy to get his 24 key super attack, plus that automatically makes it the combo super attack. And yeah, I was definitely very impressed. So,
all right, perfect. So we all at the same page here, and with that, I would like to move on to the next topic here. Of course, we will also talk about the two free-to-play units who got an EZA during Part 2, Horikyu and Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We talked about their kits last time as well, but a lot of us haven't used them at that point in time. Now that some time has passed, why don't you, Gale, share your ups and downs with those units?
Yeah, of course, there wasn't that much to do in this part of the celebration, unfortunately. So I've been pretty much, spending time just using the units, kind of figuring out where they fit best. How do they compare to last year's free to play units as well in terms of utility and usability as well. Um, I think the Hercule and Boo is probably by far my favorite free to play unit to come out of all of this whole celebration. I think because of the versatility he has, he's able to stack defense, has a chance to dodge, has damage reduction, and is a support unit as well. Of course, this is pre-exchange. Um, I haven't been able to test him out fully though. I want to test him out still in Legendary Goku event with a full Earthlings team, but I've been testing him out in Majin Buu SBR as well as Boss Rush, and he is really really good. He's able to tank quite a bit, and then of course, especially once he transforms, if you've stacked a lot, he's able to keep that defense as well. So overall, Hercule and Boo is probably one of the better free to play units we've gotten in the last couple of months for sure. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, on the other hand, is a bit more interesting in my opinion. I think he's really nice, but at the same time, I think, especially in long fights, I'm not sure on how he'll survive that long. But if for short term battles and, short to medium length battles, he'll be fantastic with his type effectiveness and his ability to support the team with his super class allies attack increase on his SA.
All right. Yeah, I totally agree. And I've seen, Nolar, that you published a video today about those two units. Just as I said, if you guys don't follow our contributors, make sure to check out the description and you will find their Twitter accounts there so you can check out their YouTube accounts too. But yeah, let's get back to the topic. Nolar, you have published a video about them and the title was saying that the units are good. So yeah, why don't you go deeper into this?
Yeah, sure. So I think okay. So the problem is when I put them on the team, I was again. I guess the comments were telling me that I should have put Boo up front and make sure I showcase him a little more. I wanted to get the damage out and try to beat the event I was running. Boo seems pretty good. In terms of like his defensive capabilities. But the thing was, I didn't have a Goku or Hercule on rotation to really get the effective guard all the time. So I'm gonna have to redo another video and really dive deep into it. I see the potential in it though. For free to play cards, these are fantastic cards, absolutely. But again, if you have a box like I do, probably not your first option. So the Super Saiyan 3 Goku hits fairly hard for a free to play card. I think I put the Int Hercule on rotation with the powered down Spirit Bomb Goku, and he was hitting attack stats of about 1.8 million, almost 1.9 million with the Spirit Bomb, with no Rainbow Orbs because on my run I barely got any Rainbow Orbs. But yeah, he's very good. The downside I have to these particular cards is when they do the exchange mechanic, their link skills completely, or the link sets completely change. So, I mean, Hercule has one set, and then when he goes Boo, Boo's got, the Boo links and all that stuff. And then, of course, Super Saiyan 3 Goku over in a flash, right? Down to base form Goku. So, team building with exchange units or transform units have always been a little awkward because do you build them for the pre-transform state? Usually not, but then until you get them to transform, if you build a team around them when they get over in a flash or whatever links you're establishing as the main bridge to the team, it may be a little bit of a downside because the first like 5 turns, no one's going to super, essentially. So I think the cards are really good. It's just to me, you probably want to run them specifically on the Majin Buu saga, where you can have secondary supports really hold the team together until they get to whatever state you want them in, and at that point everyone can super and whatnot. But overall I think they're very good. Yeah, just the link skills are the only downside in my opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. As for me, you brought up a very important point here. I haven't finished those two units. Yeah, you might laugh. I know, but I have no incentive to run them as of right now, and that's why I pushed them back a little bit and grinded link levels instead, or used the money for the medals in the barbershop. Yeah, I was hoping that I will get a viable unit such as Goku and Gohan, the tech one, who supports Goku's family. But yeah, those two units are definitely not bad. So yeah, Ningen, have you tried out those two units? Can you tell us something?
Not a super amount. I've kind of really only used them I used them obviously for the Extreme Z area. And then when these first two were available, I did try them in Super Battle Road very briefly, which we talked about briefly in the last episode. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to add that hasn't been said already. I do think they're very solid. But I definitely have the same gripe as Nolar, because I thought it was quite a cool little rotation because they obviously made him Hercule and Boo for the different name. Running them with the Hercule together, they obviously link up super well, but then as soon as he exchanges into Boo, they don't link up very well at all. So it's a little bit annoying. But obviously I'm in a similar situation where whilst they are fun units to use, they're probably never going to make it onto any of my teams, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just add on to the point that you mentioned, Sunblade. Like you mentioned Goku and Gohan and Vegeta and Trunks from last year. It also doesn't help that their categories are extremely limited, and and in the case of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you have other options as well, be it in the future or existing options in AGL SSJ3 Goku and LR SSJ3 Goku. But yeah, for Hercule and Boo, the only saving grace is that in a future Earthlings and maybe a World Tournament team, he'll be really good. But that's only pre-transformation as well, like mentioned with the links changing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yes, you brought up a good point there on the World Tournament team. Okay, yeah. The first topic and the second topic have one thing in common, and that's the unit super attack. Yeah, now that some days have passed, Goresh, what's your, well, quote unquote, the final verdict on the unit super attack system so far? Are you excited about it? Or yeah, tell us about your experiences.
I am excited about it. I think it's actually a really well designed mechanic, and the reason why I say that is because they don't have to make it like a make or break mechanic that would either make the unit good or bad, right? It's sort of just an additional thing that they can do. And it's not like you're talking about, LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who literally can't transform like 95% of the time. So half of his unit is just like inaccessible to you most of the time. If you take a look at this Vegeta that just came out, if you don't get his unit super attack, it's not like, it's barely noticeable, honestly. Sure, you would like to get it, but it's not going to make or break whether or not you clear a stage or not, like most of the time. So I think they shouldn't be hesitant to make the conditions for the unit super attack like just a little bit more stringent than transformations, because it's more important that you get transformations rather than these unit super attacks, because it's just an additional thing that they can do, not like if you don't get this, you're going to lose, right?
Yeah, what I have wished from the unit super attack system is that I have well, it's not the case with the Vegeta, because the whole passive focuses around the Goku unit, but for the future, I want an incentive to build the team a certain way so I can trigger the unit super attack. Maybe Frieza, well, I'm talking, nonsense stuff maybe here, but maybe we can get a unit super attack with Gohan or 17. So I have to include him on the team so I get that special boost in power. But, well, we will see about that. Frieza will probably get a unit super attack, but we will get back to him pretty soon. Okay, so yeah, part 3, content free. When we got the data download for OOP, some people speculated that we will get a part 3 for this worldwide celebration. As every one of you gathered from the title, quote unquote, part 3 is pretty much content free, and this entire celebration had this problem, in my opinion. Any thought about this, Talon? Where did Akatsuki fail here? Yeah.
I'm just going to say Team A got the celebration. Team B got the units. Team A got the celebration. We all know it's true. We all know it's true.
Yeah.
No, but in all seriousness, I don't know. exactly how I feel about this. And by the way, guys, keep an eye out for Nolar's video. He's gonna have a video where we're all talking about the celebration itself and just like the past ones as well. But I guess there's a little quote unquote preview to that. I didn't particularly care about the half of the celebration sometimes. Like I love both of the units, which is amazing. I like that we've got new Extreme Super Battle Road stages, but other than that, I don't know. I wasn't as invested, I guess, and maybe that just speaks to playing this game for 5+ years now. But I don't know. Just it felt like like a lot of stuff was just missing, and I know people are going to say yes, a lot of stuff was missing, but I don't know. That's just how I personally feel. I feel like they dropped the ball. I mean, let's be honest, Oob is not really part 3, right? Oob is just simply another character thrown in. That's how I personally feel, at least.
The release of the new free-to-play Oob was, in my opinion, a pretty surprising one. Yeah, Talon, I know that you are a big tech Oob fan. DLR, we talked about it today.
Hell yeah.
So, have you tried him out, the physical Oob one?
I have. He's a good card. Once you get his easy, obviously get his easy up and everything. He's a pretty decent partner for the LR Tech Oob before he transforms, which is really nice. But that was never, LR Oobs was never meant to really be a huge attack or anything, right? He's there to, self-supply himself with ki. If he transforms, he changes orbs. He greatly lowers the enemy's attack on his super attacks and everything. But he was boosting my numbers a little bit, which was nice. I ran him on the not the Majin Buu Saga team. The what team was there? Yeah. That's what I was doing. So I was running him on there. So he was hitting pretty good numbers, but again, like he's a cool unit and everything, but I wouldn't exactly call one unit a whole part 3. So.
Yeah, definitely not.
Wait, you didn't appreciate the whole extra hour and a half of content? But yeah, I did think of you at the time, actually, Talon, because I know you love Tech Oob, but I was very disappointed to find that when the Tech Oob transforms, they literally share 0 links.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't really share any links, which hurts them. So,
when we look at this quote-unquote part 3, the thing I find most disappointing is that we are not getting an LR Kid Buu. And yeah, any thoughts on this, Goresh? I'll give you time to rant about this. I've seen multiple tweets from you in the course of the last few weeks.
Well,
what's your opinion?
Just real quick about Oob. The problem that I have with Oob is I really like the fact that he's on different categories that really needed the buff. Like World Tournament obviously needed a buff. Earthlings really needed a buff. So in particular, those 2 categories got a lot of help from Oob. But those categories have more, I guess, intrinsic problems than just having better units on them. And that's the fact that they don't really have like a set number of links that most units are sharing between each other. So take a look at like the Wicked Bloodline category or the Universe Survival Saga category. Like units on those categories for like Wicked Bloodline, they're all like there's specific Wicked Bloodline units that every unit is going to share. Universe Survival Saga, you're going to have the Turn of Power link. Everyone's going to share that. Earthlings, like what? There's no like standard set of links that everyone's sharing, and Oob, like it doesn't really. He's a good unit by himself, but doesn't really link up well with many other units on there. Same thing with World Tournament. Yeah, they have like the World Tournament link or whatever, World Tournament Reborn or whatever it's called. But yeah, I don't know. He's good by himself, but he doesn't really work super well with a lot of the other units on there to make the category better and feel better. Okay, so for the actual celebration itself, I think a lot of people are riding the sort of negative energy from part 1. Part 1 was very bad, like probably one of the worst part 1s to a major celebration we've had in a while. And I feel like that mindset carried over to part 2, whereas part 2 really wasn't that bad. I mean, 10 stages of Super Battle Road is actually quite good, given it's pretty lazy what they did with it. They just literally copied and pasted what this original event was and just boosted the numbers, right? But it's still a lot of content, and we got the Extreme Z areas, and we got like more rewards. I mean, it wasn't that bad of a part 2. But I think the part one sort of lack of content or content drought really soured people's attitudes towards the whole celebration. So it kind of just carried over to part two. And now people got excited for a part three when they saw Oob, and then it's just literally one stage. So it definitely wasn't as bad as people are making it out to be, I don't think. But this celebration was pretty bad overall. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I looked up some data here, and maybe some people are interested about the Dragon Stones we got. So as of right now, or as of yesterday, I double checked with some other people. Global has gotten 870 Dragon Stones, and JP got 805. And yeah, I'll say it right now, so Nola doesn't have to say it. Hashtag JP Shaft.
Hashtag JP Shafted, boys.
And yeah, I have the numbers here for the $350 million celebration. It was 1,070 stones in total. The 4-year anniversary had 936 stones, and the 5-year anniversary had 794 stones. So in terms of Dragon Stones, this celebration was pretty good so far, and we will still get a lot of stones. The launch event is returning on Monday. But yeah, I said it before. The one thing that disappoints me the most is that we didn't get an LR Kid Buu during this celebration. I don't get it. Well, we'll eventually get a new Dokkan Fest card, maybe by the end of the year. I don't know, but yeah, this has been a huge letdown to me. What do you guys think about the missing Kid Buu?
So I'll make 2 points here. The first point is what I'm most disappointed about is we didn't get a raid. I feel like there's been a lot of opportunities for them to make a raid out of this celebration in particular. They could have been one versus Kid Buu. There could have been one versus Buhan even. Like, I don't know. A raid, it doesn't feel like a lot of content, but it actually is. If you make it 100 stages and you have good rewards, because take a look at, like, I think the Cell raid last year. Yep. The rewards for that were pretty damn good. And I feel like that's a way to artificially make people happy, even though technically isn't like a ton of content. It's there, and it feels like they put an effort into making a new raid event. Like I remember when this is going way back, but before the Broly movie stuff happened, like they had that teaser Broly EZA thing. Like that was cool. Everyone was hyped about that. So I feel like that whole type of event really, I guess, radiates hype off of it. So them not doing that this time, I think, was a mistake. And then for no Kid Buu in terms of a unit, I'm pretty surprised about that too, because this celebration was teased from the very beginning as being sort of the conclusion to the Majin Buu saga that they've been building up to since December on JP, and then to not conclude, basically the saga with the main villain of the saga, who it is Kid Buu. Kid Buu is always marketed as the main villain of the saga. It's just strange. People say he might come later, blah 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 blah, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's just this is the celebration where they needed to capitalize on it, I think, in my opinion.
Yep, totally agree. Anything you would like to add, Ningen or Gale?
I'll go. I think first and foremost, in regards to the content, I definitely think part one could have been done better, purely because a lot of the stuff they had done for the celebration, they pretty much threw it in the countdown instead, which was a super odd decision in my opinion. Like Chain Battle, the first Dragon Ball history stage, Boss Rush, the story event, everything was done in the countdown. Hence, we had nothing left to do in the main in the first part of the celebration, which was really, really odd. And we ended up only getting the launch event and the meet stage basically, and that was pretty much it. And yeah, no, just missing. I think also partially everybody was super excited to finally get a good Kid Buu or, a Super Spirit Bomb Goku, and instead we ended up getting Vegeta and Buhan, which is hype, but it's not the end of the Buu saga, and we haven't gotten those two units in years, So missing those two as well was a big decision, big decision made by Akatsuki. Is it bad or good? Depends on the person you ask. And finally, I agree with Goresh in that we should have had a raid event. It would have been nice, even if they didn't EZA the STR and in Goku and Vegeta, the Buu saga ones. it would have been nice if we could have at least gotten the EZA for the AGL Super Saiyan 2 Goku we got during the second year anniversary 3 to 4 years ago, if anything, from the raid, if they had done a raid event. But yeah, it's just a lot of weird and kind of wonky decisions, shall we say, from Akatsuki for this whole celebration.
All right. So yeah, Ningen, anything you want to add here, or are we done?
No, yeah, I agree with that. Like, we weren't expecting it to happen because we haven't had any of the 120 EZAs on global, but when all the main banner units had finally been revealed and we weren't getting any sort of Kid Buu, there was a part of me that was kind of expecting them to drop like the simultaneous release for the Kid Buu EZA, just so we had something Kid Buu related. But yeah, apart from them adding the like versus Majin Buu Infinite Dragon Ball History, I guess we're just not getting anything Kid Buu related. So
not yet, at least. Okay, so yeah, we will head to the final topic for today. Of course, we don't have any footage of it yet. Let's talk about the new transforming Angel Frieza to Golden Frieza.
Yeah.
Frieza here, real quick. As you can see,
is that something you'd like to talk about, Goresh?
A little bit.
Nah, Gresh doesn't like that.
yeah, I want to aim towards Talon and Nolar here because they worked on a video, a speculation video about that, and yeah, we talked about the new Frieza unit last week where we speculated about his typing. Gale and me are thinking that he might be tech because Extreme Tech really needs buffs. But I can see the argument from Goresh. But yeah, Nolar and Talon, what have you guys worked out for this unit?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so Talon and I have a series, which is where we have you guys submit your versions of fan-made cards, right? Like you want to make a Golden Frieza card or transforming Frieza card that goes Golden Frieza. Let us know what you think the kits, all that stuff. So we actually just sent that out yesterday, I want to say.
I'm going to post it in the chat right now for you guys if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah. Look, I think it's going to be interesting. I personally think he's going to be another, like one of his leads, like the secondary lead is probably going to be Wicked Bloodline. That's for sure. Whether he's going to do Otherworld Wars, I don't think so. Or more than likely, I don't want them to throw a new category at us. I'm just not sure what they would do. Either way, I don't think it'd be fully complete. But it seems like I think I saw a post on Reddit where every like October or November is like Wicked Bloodline for the last like 4 years. Because last year it was Strength Cooler, right? It was around this time for Strength Cooler.
Yeah.
The year before that was AGL Metal Cooler. And then before that it was Angel Golden Frieza, like in October of 2017, 18. And then the year before that, what was that? I can't remember. There was another Dokkan.
It might have been Tech Golden Frieza, perhaps.
Oh, that would have been like 2016, 17, around that time. Yeah,
give or take. Let me just double check. I can check.
Yeah, so it seems to be like they have a certain cadence, right? So October, November is Goresh's month for Dokkan. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think he'll be pretty good. The thing is, if he's gonna have the Otherworld Warriors tag, right? So he needs to have some kind of support for the Otherworld Warriors tag. Otherwise, that tag is still dead, or the category, at least to me.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Just coming back, sorry, to that point you made. He was on 15th September, so just a month off, but yeah, 15th September 2016, around this time, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Talon. Well, I'm good for that. Talon, you have any thoughts about this?
Nothing much that you haven't really covered already. I will be interested to see though if they actually do the combo super attack that we've seen with this new Vegeta and the free-to-play Goku and Hercule that we just got. Just because last year when we got the exchange mechanic, we didn't see that for quite some time. I don't know if they've looked at the exchange mechanic the exact same way as they are with the combo super attack and just being like, all right, people somewhat liked it, but we'll do it. The next one won't be until Christmas or something like that. So I'm not completely convinced that he's going to have that mechanic. I think it makes sense that he would, but at the same time, maybe I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. I am excited for him though. He's obviously going to help things like transformation boost doesn't need help, but it's just going to make it even more powerful. He's going to really help the Wicked Bloodline. He's going to have he probably wouldn't have Conquest of. I mean, yeah, he won't have Conquest of Terrors or anything like that. But I think he's going to be a really cool unit. I think he'll be AGL like we explained, and hopefully we start seeing some information. I don't think we'll see it this upcoming week, but probably the following week, just because of how this celebration is going. But I could be wrong. We could see information this upcoming week. We'll have to wait and see. So,
just to jump in real quick, who would he even combo super attack with? Do we have anybody currently that he would be doing that with, or?
Yeah, he could do 17 is the one I was thinking if he was going to have it. I personally don't think he'll have a unit super attack, but I think 17 would be the one to do it with, because I remember against Jiren, he's literally fighting Jiren. He does the telekinesis with the rocks, and then 17 just goes and does the thing where he attacks him with the barrier. That could be the combo attack. And then they could also do one with Gohan, where it's versus Dispo, where they do like the thing where Gohan sacrifices himself and jumps off the thing with Dispo. That could be one, but I personally don't think he's gonna have it.
Jumping in, isn't the Golden Frieza's the moment that they're portraying from the V-Jump scan at least? Isn't it from when he first arrives on Earth though?
Yes, it is, but I don't think that really. I don't think that's just the art, right? I don't think that means like he's only gonna be from that first section where he's fighting the assassins. I mean, they could do that, but I think they're going to try and implement more than just that.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I was just wondering, because then they could also potentially do maybe like a base form Goku, just like a bit of a what if, and just throw him in as a unit super attack maybe as well. But yeah.
Well, the reason why I asked about who he could potentially combo with when they're unit super attack, because right now they've made it clear, or at least I imagine, playing other gacha games, if they're going to continue the combo super attack, they need to have everyone be able to use it. So yeah, okay, sure, this is a Dokkan Fest unit, you got to pull him, but if you manage to use him, you need to have a card you can use him with. Obviously, that would mean, in my mind, that they give a story event, a farmable 17 or Gohan, like you're describing, Goresh, where you can use that, that mechanic with him if you manage to pull the Frieza. So it's not like, obviously, again, to be clear, they can't put like, hey, we'll put a new 17 on the banner and you have to pull both of them to make it work. That's like illegal, Kompu Gacha. That can't work. So that's why I'm saying, like, if they are going to utilize that mechanic, which I don't think they will, I think they're going to utilize the partner super for more like big celebrations, like dual Dokkan Fests, where they could throw story stages at us to farm the secondary card. But if they did manage to put it on this banner with him, then they need to at least give us something to farm in order to utilize the mechanic. And in that case, that means just there's more content, right? So that's what I'm trying to get at. So
well, keep in mind there is a free to play 17 from the Tournament of Power, right? From the story event.
Right. So even if they, and same thing with Gohan, right? The
SR. There's the AGL one. Yeah, there's the AGL one. They could awaken that one, potentially.
Right.
Who knows?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they want to implement that mechanic, then they just bring back that story stage, right? And then everyone can farm it up again if they never did in the first place to utilize that mechanic if they manage to pull this transforming Frieza. So that was my point for bringing that up.
Okay, Ningen, what do you think about Frieza? Are you hyped about him? You haven't said anything about him yet.
I mean, I'm excited. I do like that moment. Obviously, it's awesome. The art that we've seen in the V-Jump scan is cool. It's obviously harder for me to get super hyped about him because I'm not going to have a chance to get him for at least 6 months probably. But obviously he's, I mean, I need to check out all your the guys' videos that you mentioned, but like I'm kind of hoping that he's tech, because Extreme Tech really needs another big unit. But I'm just looking forward to seeing, like, considering what we've seen lately, I'm really looking forward to seeing all of his animations. So I'm definitely hyped to see what he's like, but like I said, I'm not going to get a chance to use him for a while, so I'm trying not to get too excited.
Yeah, because I'm I'm playing JP. I'm definitely excited. Future Gohan came out on my birthday, and the same thing could happen with the Frieza. So I'm hoping that will happen. So I can summon for him on my birthday and get like 5 copies on the first multi. That would be a perfect birthday present. But yeah, we will see.
Nano Nolar.
Yeah, I will embrace the Nanolar luck. It will work. It worked for Ningen. So yeah.
It's true. He believed in it and he was rewarded. So, extreme tech. I mean, okay. So just a side question, a little tangent. What extreme typing besides? What are the top 3 extreme typings you think would be benefit the most from this Golden Frieza?
Oh, please let me talk. Okay, so here's what we're doing. So let me pull up the list. So Wicked Bloodline, right? I'm thinking in terms of Wicked Bloodline. I want this guy to be a buff to the Wicked Bloodline category first and foremost. He's definitely going to be a valuable asset to Representatives of Universe 7, Universe Survival Saga, Full Power, Transformation, whatever. All those categories he's going to buff, but I want his primary reason of existing to be buffing Wicked Bloodline because they need a buff. They got cooler a year ago, and since then there really hasn't been anything else added to this category. So I think, yeah, you guys mentioned Extreme Tech. So my issue with Extreme Tech is Extreme Tech on this specific category actually isn't that bad. They have Tech Golden Frieza, who's still really good, and then they have the Transforming Frieza, who I think is a little bit underrated, honestly. And then they have Golden Cooler, who's good, but he's very limited. Not a lot of people had him. So the Extreme Tech isn't really too bad on this team specifically, but I think if you want to talk about just Extreme Tech as a typing overall, it sucks. So I would not be opposed to this guy being Extreme Tech. But my top 2 picks for this typing for this guy are going to be AGL as number 1, just because AGL for Wicked Bloodline really doesn't have much. Cooler is cool. The Metal Cooler, obviously he's good. He's the only real leader for this team, besides just, I guess, if you want to throw in Strength Cooler, but he technically doesn't lead Wicked Bloodline. It's just Transformation Boost and Conquest of Terror. And then the only other notable EGL unit on this category is the AoE Final Form Frieza from the Planet Namek saga, and that's pretty much it. So AGL would be actually, I guess, technically the EZA Golden Frieza too, but he's very situational. And then for physical, I think is the other one I would choose. Physical is not terrible, but they're definitely not super good. The 2 typings I really don't want him to be are STR, because STR is by far the best typing on this category. It's not even close. I mean, LR Final Form Frieza Full Power. You have the Cooler, best unit on the category by far. You have the LR Prime Battle Frieza, who's going to be getting his EZA soon. What else? You got the Final Form Frieza from Planet Namek. You have the LR Mecha Frieza King Colt. I mean, there's like a million STR units on here. And then Int, the only reason why I don't want him to be Int is because the existing Int into Golden Frieza is on that typing. And I think you're going to want to run them both together because they should, in theory, share all 7 links with each other. So I think him being able to link really well with him, as well as, I guess, depending on what his kit does, being able to power him up a lot, and you're going to want to run both of them on the same rotation. Like, it's just having 2 typings like that together all the time is not really conducive, because if you fight a physical unit, it's going to be annoying. So yeah, I would say AGL is number 1, number 2 is physical, and then number 3 is tech. I wouldn't really care if he was any of those typings. I think any of those would be a good choice.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to see Extreme Tech, but I can see the argument from Goresh. To be honest, I just want him to be Tech because Tech really needs more strong units. So people stop crying about Extreme Sword Battle or Extreme Tech.
Oh, it's not that bad.
It is.
To me, okay. So to everyone else's point, Talon, it's like if you don't have a Raditz, if you don't have if you get one of these units, you got a good shot of doing it. But if you have none of these units, it's just you're relying on RNG on both the friend system and the Super Battle Road RNG to not destroy you on turn 1 to make it through. So, I mean, I see both sides. Like, the people who are complaining, it's like, come on, I don't have these units and I need RNG on my side. But yeah, I could see that coming from. Just to add my 2 cents real quick, Tech overall, Extreme Tech does need more help. But if I'm looking at it just as just typing wise, not category based, I feel like Extreme Physical and Extreme Int kind of need it. And so if he's a physical, that kind of fulfills a lot of the stuff that Gresh is talking about. But yeah, we'll have to see.
I think in terms of the typings overall, though, like because we just got the Boo tanks, like Extreme Physical just got a
Yeah.
huge buff.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was about to say that. Yep.
that's
Plus
why I
with
thought
the
it was quite
support-
interesting with what Goresh was saying, because obviously looking at it from just the Wicked Bloodline perspective gives you that one sort of way you could lean. And then I was thinking about it more just the colors in general. So it will be interesting to see what he's going to be.
All right. So, anything you want to add about this new transforming Frieza? Goresh, you have a final chance to say something about him.
Okay, so basically, I'm not going to go on for 10 years about this, but what I would want him to do in terms of his role on the team, again, I'm still thinking in terms of Wicked Bloodline. Wicked Bloodline doesn't really have a lot of units that like have a lot of utility. Basically, it's just they tank really well or they do a lot of damage, right? That's basically what the entire team is. There's no units that like are there to just be like stunners. There's actually 0 orb changers on the category. There's not a single one. There's like 1 healer, right? And that's pretty much all the utility on the team. So something like, I don't know, because I had actually a concept for this guy released today, the video. I had him be a key-based super attack counter unit, sort of modeling that off of his stopping the Hakai energy ball, and then like countering and killing that dog guy. That was my idea for the unit. So anything that would, I guess, make it easier for the team to just function better. And they do function really well already with the fact that they all share a lot of the same links. So I feel like that's the reason why they don't really have a lot of utility units, because they don't really need a lot of utility units, but it would make the team, I think, mesh well together because of the units like this Frieza, right? The existing Angel Golden Frieza. Problem with him is he doesn't link the best with the rest of the units because his links are just from a completely different period of the series with the Tournament of Power. And I feel like the biggest problem with this Frieza, this is going to be my last point that I make, is that he's not going to have big bad bosses. So any unit that comes out these days without big bad bosses is already at an inherent disadvantage because they're missing out on 25% attack and defense, like from the link, right? So they're gonna have to find out a way to make this guy as good as other modern extreme type Dokkan Fest units without him having big bad bosses. So we'll see. I think utility, like him being a heavy utility unit, could make him valuable in more ways than just him tanking hard or tanking well and hitting hard. So I'm hoping that's what they end up doing, but we'll see.
Okay, so that would conclude our topics for today's episode. Now we will take a 3-minute break to prepare ourselves for the questions we got from you. And yes, again, if you want to submit your questions for the second episode, please follow our Twitter account 59gaming1, and there we will notify you when we need questions from you. So get those prepared and post them as soon as possible because we will pick them out. And yeah, very, very important stuff here. So, yeah, we will go into the short break now. Anything you guys want to say before we go into the break?
No, just yeah, we're taking a quick break. Guys, go get some water or a drink, go to the bathroom, and we'll be back with your questions. And here we go.
All right, yeah. See you around. Don't turn off the stream just yet. We will be back soon. Stay tuned. Okay, we are back with episode 1, part 3, content free. And as I said, we will commence with the questions we got from you on Twitter. I have prepared something for you here, so let's get right to it. 1 second here. Okay, there we go. So the first question we got on Twitter is from Soma. He wrote to us, do you think we could get a new Prime Battle LR in the end of October? And who would you want? So yeah, any opinions on this, Gail? Why don't you go ahead and tell us about your favorite Prime Battle LR for the future?
I think we could get one more. I don't know if it'll be at the end of October. We were initially thinking we would get a potential Majin Buu Saga Prime Battle LR before Krillin came out. Then we got Krillin, of course. I think it is possible we could get one at the end of October. I'm not sure though. And for who I want it to be, I mean, as I said, I was expecting it to be something from the Majin Buu saga, maybe a new Great Saiyan unit straight up. But of course, we didn't end up getting anything of that sort. Yeah, I would like it to be Great Saiyan, but I don't know if they'll revisit the Majin Buu saga anytime soon. So I doubt it at the same time.
So, Ningen, what do you want to see?
So I think it was the idea came around. I think it was like a fake leak for New Year's for like a new friend LR, but I'd actually quite like to see as either a friend LR or Prime Battle LR androids 19 and 20, because we don't really have like any decent card representation for them in the game. So as I feel like they're not like summonable LR worthy. So Prime Battle or friend LR would be pretty good for them, and that's another unit to help bolster the android category, as well as like artificial life forms and stuff. So I'd quite like to see that.
Okay, Nolar, what's your opinion on the Prime Battle LR subject?
Okay, so a couple thoughts. Prime Battle, we've only had one extreme Prime Battle LR, right? That's the Cell, the first form Cell.
Yes.
Vegeta,
what about the
Vegeta.
STR Frieza?
Oh, Vegeta. Okay.
And
well, yeah, he is extreme it, right? Okay.
Frieza, STR Frieza, first form Frieza.
Yeah, well, until he gets an easy A, he's not really relevant right now.
what?
Okay,
True.
so.
Oh.
True.
Okay, so here's my thing. I don't think it'll happen in October. If they were going to do it, they should have done it now, because you know, why wouldn't they do it for a big celebration? But my thing is, I would rather them do it in November when we have what I imagine is going to be the huge Dragon Ball Heroes collab. So throw us a Prime Battle LR, some farmable story, awaken some of the Dragon Ball Heroes units.
Ooh.
Like, this is what I'm thinking. If they're going to really dive deep into Dragon Ball Heroes and like make a Dokkan Fest exclusive, like go all in. Give us a Prime Battle LR. I don't even know what we could get. Honestly,
Dude,
it could be anything. Like,
I would love that.
For Ningen here, Mass 17. Just saying, they could do that, or for Goresh, they could give us golden metal cooler.
Oh.
No, those I think I speak for both of us when I say those characters are far too good to just be free to play LRs. They need to be full on good summonable units.
Yeah, they can just save Kid Buu for the Prime Battle LR, right? That's what they're saving it for.
Well, I mean, at this point, this is what it looks like, right? So, but yeah, I think an extreme version of another Prime Battle LR would be good. I just hope it's coming in November when they could time it right with Dragon Ball Heroes. So that's my feeling on that.
Okay, anything else you guys want to add about the Prime Battle LR?
I guess if we were to get one at the end of October, so we know we're getting Frieza. What is it? It can be like October 4th or something like that. We're getting him, so that's the beginning of October. So I guess this would technically be the celebration after that. So it's not really possible for us to predict that right now. But if you're asking just who I would want to get as a Prime Battle LR, What about something from Dragon Ball? What about like a lot of people probably aren't going to agree with me because I actually like OG Dragon Ball. Not a lot of people do, or they haven't seen it. I don't know. What about something like General White from the Path to Power and his robot? That could be cool. I don't know if it'll be a Prime Battle LR, but he could be some kind of LR that maybe was a story event LR or something like that to sort of be the counterpart for the Kid Goku and Raleigh, which we got. Because honestly, Dragon Ball hasn't been getting that much love recently, and the only units that really are upgrading that category are the ones that are available via the World Tournament on that banner. And we know how much people hate that mode, so if they can find other ways to get us characters that will buff that category throughout, just playing story events or anything, I feel like people would actually appreciate the category more. So that would be my pick. Something from Dragon Ball, or even just, anything to buff that category would be helpful.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay. Talon, you got anything?
Not much that you guys have already said. I mean, a new Prime Beta LR, they can pretty much add anything. I feel like it's not. I don't think it'll ever be like some kind of big hype character like Kid Buu or something. I don't know. I could see something maybe for the World Tournament. Maybe see, the Piccolo Jr. potentially for a World Tournament. Some kind of Prime Battle LR that's also happens to just work really well with the World Tournament, but hard to say. I'm really bad at thinking about that stuff, but I think what you guys said was definitely some good ideas, and hopefully we do get something soon.
Okay, with that said, we will move to the next question, and shoutouts to Sin. He asked us, how do you feel about Extreme Z areas? Personally, I think they are fine for free-to-play units, but not for summonable units at all. The Hero Extermination Plan EZA area is terrible. So I will go first here, but this might be a hot take. I don't think that the Hero Extermination Plan EZA area is that bad. It's fine in my opinion. I don't get the hate.
I will say I could speak for a lot of people here because I know some of you guys have been playing the game longer than I have. But as somebody who had to farm Prime Battle Goku with a team of Super Strike units, I don't think it's that bad. Like events that restrict your team building, I think are kind of interesting. The only ones, I think there's definitely been good ones and bad ones because we've had ones where the pool of units that you can use is so limited that it's basically setting your team for you. But I do like the idea of having like a restriction to the units that you can use. So I think they've done some well and some not so well. So I think they can be good overall.
Yeah, so specifically for the Hero Extermination Plan EZA area, you don't need super powerful units. I used, of course, STR Majub as the lead, but I didn't give him any orbs. He was at SA1 and he worked just fine. The event itself was so easy, so I didn't have to prepare that much. So it was fine. But yeah, what do the other guys say? Gail, what's your opinion on those easy areas?
Wait, hold on, real quick. So you're saying Majub is not powerful? Is that what you're saying?
Before Talon kicks me out here, he works on that Hero Extermination Plan EDA. So yeah, he's fine there, but only there.
Oh my god!
Better not show up in Japan. Better not show up here.
No, I like easy areas. I think they're completely fine. Like Ningen said, it's not as bad as say the Super Strike with the Prime Battle LR Goku was, to be quite honest. If anything, I think it's mainly purely because of the whole fact that we don't get as many stones, and it costs stamina as well, and so on and so forth. Yeah, no, I'm completely fine with it. I think it's just another piece of content that we can do, and it's a bit, I wouldn't say harder, it's a bit more tedious, and you have to have the units for it, but I think it's completely fine. And more often than not, you should have the units either via summoning, because a lot, especially for the extermination one, it's literally units from like year 1 and year 2 basically. So yeah, it's not very, very hard to get the team built for those stages at all.
I think as well, some people look at it and like they look at the restrictions and they automatically think it's going to be too hard because I
Yeah.
can't remember which one it is. I think it was the one. I think it was for JP, the one for Slug and Kaioken Goku, maybe. But I remember seeing a thread where someone was complaining about how terrible it was because it was so hard to do. And somebody literally posted a screenshot. You can beat it with the free-to-play units that you have to take on the team, and then literally the other slots being Cybermen. So, like the events aren't that difficult. It's just
Yeah.
they definitely seem like if you're someone who doesn't have any of the summonable units, they have been kind of designed so that even if you only have the free-to-play ones, it's still possible to complete them. So I get that they'll be more annoying and like the fights will be slightly harder and take longer, but it is still doable. So.
Anything else here on this question?
Yeah. So okay, here's my thing. Easy areas. I kind of agree with what the Sin says here. Is like I think they're fine for free to play units, right? Because you don't, you're free to play. You gotta have some kind of content for them to do. Sure. With the hero extermination plan, I'm not like what everyone else said here. The stages themselves aren't difficult. Yeah, it might restrict you in team building. You can look at it either way, like it's too much or it's kind of cool because it's interesting and not, gives you a new challenge to play with. But I think what people are generally upset about is that they're not traditional easy A's where you get 30 stones, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that would have been a okay argument. I mean, that is a better argument now than like 3 months ago or whenever easy areas first came out. I think was it like a year ago or something like that,
Yeah.
where we were getting consistent easy A's all the time. So in my mind, when you're Akatsuki and you're looking at the stone economy, it's just like how many stones you're giving every month, right, to a free to play player. If you had a consistent easy A every month, regardless, or one or two, right? Because sometimes we get two, but let's say it's just one every month. That's 30 stones for the most part you can bank on getting, right? But since we haven't had traditional easy A's consistently for a long time, the people griping about easy A areas not giving 30 stones, that rings much more true now than it did like 6 months ago when we had a consistent state of easy A's every month, right? So the mid-ground solution was what they did that one time. They put 7 units in an easy A. You easy A'd 7 units straight up, but you still got 30 stones. So like, since they tried, I think that was an experiment and they were like, no, we're just going to go with easy A areas to give like a couple of stones and make them, use stamina and all that stuff. I would rather them scrap easy areas for summonable units and just give us 5 units that need to easy A from the extermination event in one setting.
Yeah.
Like I would rather much have that than, hey, we're just going to roll out one extra stage for the easy area. So
actually,
that's my feeling on that.
I think one big thing that also plays into it, actually, because I do agree, like as much as I was saying, I do find the easy areas to be kind of an interesting thing. I do agree about it being, they should primarily be for free to play. Because one thing other than the stones, which is quite big, is remember with like a summonable unit, whenever they get an easy A, I mean, obviously, I'm assuming most of us are flush with them, but like you get like the extra Kais to put them up to SA 15. So one that stands out is when all the Super Saiyan 2 Gokus got their easy A's. A lot of them I hadn't really put a lot of investment into, and so I didn't get Kais to get them all up to Super Attack 15. So I had to use the ones that I had that obviously potentially could go on somebody better. So that's one of the things I always like about the main summonable easy A's is they give you those resources to get them up to like SA 15 and everything just by doing the event, which you obviously don't get from Extreme Z areas. So that's fine for free to play because you can just farm a second copy up to 5 and feed them in, but you can't do that for summonable units. So
okay,
mind if I weigh in real quick?
Oh yeah, sure.
So I've always been someone who hasn't really been a big fan of the easy areas, and I will admit now in basically end of September 2020, it's not as bad as it used to be. But I think the thing that I still find a little a bit of a pain that I really don't like about the event to this day still is the fact that it's just a watered down version of the EZA event, right? It doesn't give, I'm not even going to look at, the resources it gives you, but it takes stamina for every single time you have to do it, which is going to force you to have to use stones if you want to try and get it done as fast as you can. And then the whole team limiting thing, like I get, you need 1 or 2 units on the team no matter what. Generally, it's been fine now, again in 2020, but back in the day when it was originally released, like you had to have the AGL, Whis, and Hachiga, whatever his name is. I mean,
Hachiak.
whatever. Who cares about that card? You had to have those guys on there, and those drop rates are atrocious from the hero extermination event / the other side of it. And so that was definitely a pain. And then it honestly was not as free to play friendly as a normal EZA. Most of the EZAs to this day can be done completely free to play. I've proven it. Jay Fanta's proven it. A lot of other people have proven it that you don't need. And to an extent, yes, they do somewhat limit you because it's like, oh, this category does more damage and everything. But they also make the typings available for that. So it's never really been too hard for normal EZAs, aside from, again, like, Super Saiyan 3 Goku way back in the day. That was definitely very challenging. So easy areas, they're not as bad as they used to be. They're fine now. But as long as they don't limit you too much, because there are times where sometimes they can be too limiting, and other times it's just like, okay, you need these 2 units in here, and if you have these other free-to-play units, then good. But at the same time, if you have, the summonable evil STR Boo or something like that, then he can be working there as well. But that's always been my personal opinion on it. So.
Okay, with that said, I would like to move on to the next question. Next up, we have a question from Callum9000, and he asks, after the celebration ends, do you think they will continue to steamroll Tournament of Power content or move on to a different saga? So, Ningen, what do you think about that?
It's hard to say. I feel like this is probably a question that's themed more towards JP, because obviously in terms of global, we kind of know that we're going to probably get Gohan soon, and then we will get some more Tournament of Power stuff because we'll be getting the Blue Boys and Jiren, and then the last 2 years in a row, the Christmas global exclusive has been Tournament of Power. So in terms of global, that is probably what is happening. And then for JP, we just know that the next unit is Frieza. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I don't necessarily know like the trends from JP as much, but we at least know the next thing is Tournament of Power related. So if that's going to have a part 2 with an LR banner, then I assume that will be Tournament of Power related as well. So it definitely looks like that's the next thing that's coming up, but I don't know about steamrolling more content.
Yeah, I think they shouldn't continue too long with that. But Goresh, what do you say? Of course, you are hyped about that Frieza, but what do we have to add for that?
I think Ningen sort of hinted to what I was going to say here, and that was, part 2 to that celebration could be an LR. What I think it's going to be, I think we could see a Topo coming out of there, because is Topo like a popular enough character to be a Dokkan Fest? Probably, but there's different variations that you can get from Topo. Like we don't really have a really good base form Topo. We have Topo and Pride Troopers, and we have the God of Destruction Topo, right? So maybe a transforming Topo from regular base form Topo to God of Destruction mode. That would be it's one of the remaining holes that we have in the roster for the Universe Survival Saga category. As well as Realm of Gods. I mean, like that team needs more buffs, but Universe 11. I mean, Universe 11 could use some help. I mean, they're a good team, but they're just so small. So a way that they could expand on that roster would be helpful. But I mean, we could see that again. I don't know if it'll be a Dokkan Fest or an LR, summonable LR, but I could see that happening maybe. And in terms of if I think they're going to steamroll TOP content in the future, I think in November we're definitely going to see some kind of Heroes collab. So that will definitely happen in November. And then we'll see what happens after that. But yeah, I think for the time being, we'll see the Frieza, and then I think a summonable LR in part 2. And then we'll have one more filler celebration, and then hero stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else here?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
yeah, no, I think I've personally been thinking about this over the last couple of days because there's not been much to do anyways apart from that on Dokkan. And I've been talking to some people as well, getting some ideas of what everybody in my community thinks as well. What I personally think is gonna happen is that they're gonna kind of split in half and half until at least the 60th anniversary. Obviously we're getting Golden Frieza. I think especially with us getting End of Z in the story event, I think they're gonna start tackling GT from now on, especially with like December potentially being like a SJ for Goku and Baby Vegeta dual Dokkan Fest, a Hellfighter 17 in between, all leading up to the next download celebration with Gogeta and Sin Shenron, I think. But I also believe that with us getting Golden Frieza, like Goresh said, maybe a Topo, I think that it's also leading up towards the 60th anniversary being MUI and SSBE, and that being the final thing for TOP, I think. But yeah, I also agree that November should be Heroes, especially because it's the 10th year anniversary. It's go big or go home, especially if Dokkan wants to ever add Heroes cards as Dokkan Fest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Just to add my 2 thoughts on this, or 2 cents. Because like what they did with Z is they went through the sagas, like from Namek to androids, Cell into Kid Buu or the Majin Buu saga. There's a possibility that we could just start straight from the beginning of Super and like kind of like in terms of like starting a new saga. So like we could see Battle of the Gods again. Like they did revamp that story event back then, right? The Battle of the Gods. So
yeah.
Okay. So I mean they could probably do another one of those, but the thing about GT is that it's so they're so sparse with it that I feel like they're not really going to go too heavy into it, because I don't think GT's well received in Japan.
Well made.
Both.
Or I think the word you're looking for is good.
Yeah.
Hey man, you're harming me here. No, I do agree, but that's partially why I was saying like they're gonna kind of condense it all into 1 year because they still have to. We all want a Gogeta and Sin Shenron inevitably, so I think that's why I said like they'll condense all 3 arcs into like just 1 year and push it out on like how they did the past couple of years where they put sagas in each year.
Yep. Which is why I think that's more like everyone says year 6 is going to be GT themed. And I agree, it's probably going to be GT themed, but I don't agree that it's going to be transforming Sin into Omega with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because with the exception of year 1 anniversary, all the anniversaries have been dual Super Dokkan Fest.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
If it's going to be GT, it's probably transforming Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku into full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku with some Vegeta going Great Ape into Super Saiyan 4. Like it'll be somewhere in there. That'll be the Duke Dokkan Fest for 6 year if it's GT theme. And then download celebration, like you said, oh, here's a Hellfighter 17. Here's like all this GT stuff. And okay, here's Sin Shenron into Omega, followed by Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta into Gogeta. Right. So I think that's kind of the schedule. If you were like, this is my prediction on the schedule. But then at the same time, well, what about all the other Dokkan Fests in between? It's probably going to be peppered with Super, stuff from the Super series. So, that's why I'm thinking Battle of the Gods will probably get a revamp. Like, we'll probably get we deserve a Super Saiyan God Goku Dokkan Fest unit, right? We haven't had one. We're probably going to get one, right? So that's what I'm thinking.
Also, keep in mind that they've never built up to the anniversary in a chronological sequence before. They've only done that for the download celebration. So
right.
I guess people can speculate on whether or not they're going to try and do that here, because it makes too much sense, right? Going from the Buu Saga into GT. Like, we're so close to the anniversary at this point. Honestly, we're, 3 months away
3 months
from
out?
the anniversary?
3
They
to 4
could
months,
realistically just do, 2 Dokkan Fests, and then they're already, planned out to be where they are chronologically for the anniversary, depending on what they want to do. But we have to keep in mind that if they want to plan the next download celebration to be GT themed, we might not start seeing them build up to that until later into 2021. And the only reason why they did it so early for Majin Buu Saga is because Majin Buu Saga is like bigger than the entire series of GT itself.
True.
Yeah.
So they had to start in December with Vegeta and Goku, the transforming ones. And it took them, 9 months to build up to the ending here, which is where we're at right now. But GT, I mean, you do 2 or 3 Dokkan Fests and you're already there. So it depends on the timeline that they have planned out, and we might not see that start to, take form until like April, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you could probably, if they do decide to do a Dokkan Fest for the Dragon Ball Hero stuff, we could get like Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, because this is Vegito battle, right? So and then thus begins the Super Saiyan 4 category, right? Like
that's exactly what I was gonna say. If there's gonna be a Heroes Dokkan Fest, I would put money on it being Super Saiyan 4 Vegito.
Yeah. Vegito battle, guys. All right, moving on.
Yeah, we will move on to the next question, and I think it's sufficient if I just read the username here. Chilled needs a good card. Asks, do you think we'll ever get a good Chilled unit? Dokkan Awaken the Super Strike units, please, Akatsuki. So yeah, Goresh, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing. I am a giant Frieza race lover. That's pretty obvious.
No way.
I do not care about Chilled.
Shocker.
Hashtag not real fan. Hashtag fake Goresh.
Here's the thing. So if someone like me doesn't even care about him, like why? The chances that he gets like a really good card, sure. He can get, the most I could see Chilled getting is a secondary banner unit.
Yeah.
He's not going to get a Dokkan Fest. He's not going to get an LR. He's not going to get, some kind of like just super hype card. I think because a lot of people were expecting when Bardock was announced for Saiyan Day, he could have been the secondary unit on the banner with Bardock.
I think everybody expected that. Raditz was a shocker, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If he wasn't on the banner of a unit whose entire super attack is designed from the movie that he comes from, then he's probably not coming on a banner.
Getting beaten up by you mean?
I mean, he would have made a part if they even had the consideration of making him a good card. They could have made the Part 2 Saiyan Day LR the Chilled, right?
Yeah,
but they didn't. And they didn't even put him on the banner. They didn't even give him a free to play unit. So that says a lot about Chilled.
Okay, anything you want to add, Talon? Maybe do you have something to say about him?
Not particularly. I mean, it's kind of like the Garlic Jr. stuff, right? Not many people care about him. So could he show up as some kind of side banner unit? Sure, absolutely. As a Dokkan Fest, absolutely not. Or maybe she'll just simply gets another free-to-play card, kind of like Slug did. I know Slug also has this physical summonable one, but that's a side banner unit. But other than that, I don't really expect it, to be honest. It's almost 6 years into the game now. I don't expect it to happen.
Okay. I mean, the thing is,
go ahead.
Wars, but with SA15. So I guess they kind of took the template of EZAs using the Awakened Super Strike cards into what we have now.
Apparently, there's no audio.
Apparently, there's no audio. What?
Yeah, y'all's audio just cut out on the stream side. Like I can hear y'all talking in here, but on YouTube,
okay,
there's no audio.
Okay.
Apparently it's back now.
Right.
Apparently it's back.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
Okay.
I think you might
All
need
right,
to
okay.
restart your point, Nola.
This is
Okay,
what we get for doing live. Just so you guys are aware, things like this could happen. So this is kind of like our dress
Teething issues.
rehearsal for
It's
the
just teething
podcast. So.
issues. Yeah.
At the same time, someone's saying Chilled hacked us.
He did.
that's
Yeah, he
more-
did. Yep.
Yeah, he
Okay,
heard us talking trash.
I mean, he heard about Goresh and he's like, "What? I'm not part of the family. What are you talking
Okay,
about?"
I need some backup here.
I was gonna say, you can imagine he sat listening to the podcast, and it's like, at least Goresh will have my back, and it's like, nah, sorry,
Never mind.
sorry, fam.
Sorry, bro. All right. So my main point was again, Chilled. If he was gonna come, it would come on same day for Bardock. Didn't happen, so he probably is never coming. Like as an actual card you can summon. Maybe another farmable card down the line, sure. But the point I was going to make was he asked, can you Dokkan Awaken or EZA the Super Strike units? Well, for those of you who weren't playing during year 1, which is when you had to farm the Super Strike units to do the Prime Battle LRs, they were the first units. They're TUR. They're at SA15. So I don't think they're ever touching Super Strikes again. Granted, for example, we haven't had, who was it, Piccolo Jr. Who else? What other Super Strike were we missing? There's 2 Super Strikes we never got back. Kibito Kai. Yeah. So we never got those 2 Super Strikes again. Like they're never touching it again. Like it's pretty obvious they abandoned it. But what they did was they took the template of the concept of Super Strike and applied it to EZAs and easy areas where, okay, we'll increase the SA and then they add the level cap and stuff. So I think you just might as well consider Super Strike units dead. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
All right. So yeah, anything you want to add about our Lord here, Chilled?
No,
Don't
just
kill
like just like everybody mentioned, his best opportunity was with Bardock. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It would be nice because it's another unit in the Wicked Bloodlines category, but it is what it is. You can't. It's not gonna happen, unfortunately. At least not in a banner format. I think like people in chat mentioned, World Tournament's his best chance. I think now.
Okay, so we will move on to the next question. Manu Persano, I hope I pronounced that right, asks, do you think we might get new summoning animations around when Golden Frieza comes out, since we got new summoning animations last year and the year before that around the same time? So, yeah, Talon, what do you think about that?
Putting me on the spot. I don't think we're gonna get new summonable animations now. Those are they're so random when they get those out. I don't think we're going to eventually.
Well, when I'm thinking about summoning animations, like you have to consider, like first of all, we need a threshold for what they would indicate. Is there anything right now that we really need a new animation to indicate that we're getting in the summon? So like Zeno is a new unit, Goku Black Rift's a new unit. Like how many animations do we need that mean the same thing, right? That's basically what I'm getting at. Like Super Saiyan God means 3 SSRs. Double Crack Screen is a Dokkan Fest exclusive, or LR, so stuff like that. Like how many animations do we need to signify the same thing? I guess we could have like, what if we got one where Goku flies in, Frieza just kills him, and it's a full rare multi? I don't know, like something stupid like that. I don't know. Like,
yeah, no. I mean, I don't see that happening anymore because of the guaranteed SSR. But yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean. I mean, the only thing they can add is, I guess, that unused Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken animation, which could mean like 2 or more new SSRs. But that's a stretch. I think there's not much they can add anymore, unless they just want to keep adding more animations just for the fun of it. Like fusion, just it's the same. It means the same as Patara, but it's fusion kind of thing. There's not much they can.
I think what they could do is they could just replace older animations with updated ones that are just like they look better, they feel better, but they mean the same thing, and then they just replace the ones that are kind of outdated, right?
Yeah.
It would be nice also if they can finally add sensible pairs like Goku, Gohan, and Goten, please. That would make please. I don't know why it's still not a thing, but okay, game.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I would love to see, like, again, it is like it'd be cool to see new animations, but Goresh kind of hit the nail on the head. Is like we don't necessarily need more animations for the same thing, but I would love to see one where it's Gohan and Goten fly in, and then when you pull down, they appear at the side and they actually do the family Kamehameha. Like that would look so good as a summon animation. But again, it's like, what would it really necessarily need to mean? And then if they start adding things like you're getting 2 guaranteed like featured units or something, it would kind of end up being like, if anyone remembers from the old set of animations, the Shenron, where some people will just never ever see it.
Yeah.
So,
But
Well,
I mean,
just out of-
I also
Yep.
think that's kind of good in a fashion, because it's such a rare occurrence. It's all the more exciting.
just out of curiosity, I know I've asked this before, but how many of you played with the old animations have actually seen Shenron?
I saw
I've
him
seen
once.
it once.
yes,
once.
I got it once.
I think everybody here has gotten at least once.
Think about how much I summoned. I got him once.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think how much I summoned. I've only got him once too. So, wait, do you remember the card you got? Because it guarantees an SSR. Like, this is before the SSRs. So.
It was probably like
yeah.
Tech Super Saiyan Super Vegeta or something.
I think I got like 5 SSRs in the multi, but yeah.
When
It
did
was
they
just
add
one.
it? When did they
Random
add that in?
SSRs.
It was probably
Uh,
the unit that everybody says is just like the whenever somebody says like, oh, I'm just gonna pull like this or something. It's always AGL Super Vegeta. Like AGL Super Vegeta is like the throwaway unit that you always talk about if you don't want to get something.
I think I got check MV funnily enough on that multi with Shenron.
Because I can't
I-
remember if it was in the game that early. But I could have sworn I got mine during the Janemba and Gogeta, like STR Janemba in Gogeta dual.
it was
Dokkan
during. It
Fest.
was in during that time. It was.
Yeah, that's literally one of the first videos on my channel is summoning on those banners, and I got it on video. I'm pretty sure. So
Damn.
Yeah. The one I had was physical SSR pan. I think it's the physical one.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And then that's all I got in the multi. I'm like,
Yeah.
thanks, game. I
Yeah,
appreciate.
Shenron was just a animation. It didn't mean much apart from SSR.
Yeah, it didn't mean nothing. It was just literally an animation. It could have been 5 pods coming down and then Hercule flying in on the right, which is usually good luck at the time. But
yeah.
it was just Shenron. Like, oh, there you go. But okay. So to give my thoughts on the whole new summon animations, only thing I want to see, I don't want to see like new summon animations beside maybe what Ningen had mentioned, but I want to see combos and pairs have some meaning added to it. So like Trunks and I think Trunks and Vegeta, I think it's the kid Trunks and the Vegeta, kind of mean it's a pair there. So it would be nice to have some other pairs or trios added to it. So hey, why not have 19 and 20 come in?
Oh
And that would
my
be, like stuff like that would be kind of
Yeah.
neat to see.
They rarely do this, but on a banner where there's like, they have not done this. I don't know if they'll do it in the future, but maybe where there's like a super Dokkan, there's like both super and extreme Dokkan festivals. Maybe they can throw in like a villains version so that it guarantees an extreme Dokkan festival and vice versa as well. Maybe certain combos and pairs.
yeah, I was just
running off your 19 and 20 idea, of course.
I was
Yep.
I was just gonna say that because that comes off the back of what Goresh said. You could have like Frieza come in and take over, and then it guarantees that you're getting an extreme Dokkan Fest unit. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, a little more variation isn't bad, but just throwing in new summon animations for the sake of new summoning animations without actually having new meaning. Like the only
Yeah.
one I can imagine is, like you said, I think the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku is still in the files. He could just
Yeah.
mean like, hey, you're getting at least 2 or more new featured units, which would be a super rare animation. But with the nanolar luck, you'll
Oh my
see it pretty much
God.
all the time. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, you
But
never
yeah,
know.
that's my feeling on the summon animations. It'd be cool, but I would rather see more like pairs have meaning. You're like, oh, so you're paying more attention to who's flying in and stuff like that. So
Plus, it'll just be if they add more, it'll just be more to forget because like the number of times
Yeah.
I will
yeah.
see something and be like, oh, does this
100%.
mean guaranteed featured? And then 20 people in the comments are like, no, it means LR on an LR banner. And it's like, oh, well, I don't remember these things.
all right.
All right. With that said, we will move on to the final question we have for today for episode 1. And yeah, this question comes from Green Shell, and he asks, when do you think dual or rainbow type cards will be implemented? So yeah, what do you guys think? Maybe Gail, you can start this off.
Okay, rainbow type cards I don't see happening without dual cards happening. And for dual type cards to happen, I mean, the best chance is maybe next download celebration. They usually love adding new mechanics in download celebrations. So I mean, that's the only opportunity I see it happening is way next year, either next year or the years after that. I hope it is a mechanic maybe next year, but at the same time, we've seen the problems that ensue when units are two different types in Super Saiyan 2 Majin or Super Saiyan 2 Tech Vegeta. That transforms into Majin Vegeta, where he goes from super to extreme. You start having those sort of problems as well. It'll be exciting if they do add it, but at the same time, you have to also consider there are going to be issues with dual typings as well.
Okay.
All
Correct.
right. So
Yep.
here's my quick thought on it. The problem with dual typings is the potential system, because how are you basing the potential? Let's say it goes int to like strength. Well, int
Mhm.
already gets 5 free dodge, right? But then when it goes strength, does he then transform into 5 free crit? Like, does that happen? Or what about the skill equipment orbs? You
That is
know,
true, yeah.
those are specific to typings, right? So are you just basing it on the first typing? Then when they transform or change, that'll still be applicable or won't be applicable? And again, we've already had that issue with like the tech transforming Super Saiyan 2 Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, who goes Majin, so he's a super type,
Mhm.
then goes extreme. What about the lead skill? What if you put that card under a in type lead, but then they transform to super type, then or strength type, then they get no buff? Like same concept. So as cool as might seem, it would have to have in order for it to work, it would need an overhaul in the mechanics of the game, right? So
Yeah.
I don't see that happening personally. I agree it'd be cool and fun, but I don't think it's feasible personally.
Okay. Somebody wants to add something to that?
Yeah. So I think I agree with Nolar in the fact that they would have to overhaul a lot of the game, how the mechanics of the game work. I think a way they've sort of been able to implement this already is the fact that we have units like Janemba, who basically can't take damage from typing is basically irrelevant to Janemba, and cards like Gogeta, who they do super effective damage against every single typing. And then we have units like Tech Vegeta, who literally is a rainbow unit. Like if you're going to implement rainbow typing, it would just be him. Like he's super effective against all types, and he takes, he has the red arrow pointing down. He's guarding against every type as well. So he's literally a rainbow unit already, but he's technically tech. But him being tech doesn't matter, other than the fact that he would fit on certain teams that require units to be tech, as well as like leader skill, stuff like that. He can go into the techs for battle road stage and that kind of thing. So other than like him being restricted to certain teams based off of his typing, his actual functionality in battle is of a rainbow type unit already. So I think that's their way of doing that, and I would argue that we already do have that in the game.
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like it was something that you could have talked about. And I swear I saw people talking about it back then anyway. But like when mono teams were the main thing, that's when the idea of cards that were like multiple typings was more interesting. But then as soon as they added categories and really blew open the whole like mixed typing things, it's only really Super Battle Road now where typing really matters. So
And Battlefield.
yeah, true.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything said as well.
Okay, Talon, do you want to add something to that?
Nothing that Nolar and Gresh haven't already said. I don't think they're going to do a dual typing. I really don't. Even for leader skills, unless like the game was at the end of its life or something like that, and they're just like, you know what, let's just throw a bunch of random stuff in and try it. I personally don't see it working, because technically, well, with the categories actually, they already have the ability to not only lead those categories, but also under those categories, there's all these different typings and everything. So dual typings, what is it really benefiting unless you make a dual typing super battle road, for example, or something along those lines? Otherwise, I personally just don't see it happening. So, and I agree with Goresh saying about what the tech Majin Vegeta does now, the transformer one, I should say. He does that. So if they add more cards like that, then sure, then there's your quote unquote rainbow type cards, just implemented in a way that's kind of hidden maybe to the general eye, unless you actually look at it a little deeper and you're like, oh, it actually does that actually. So I think that's how it's going to work.
Alrighty, so yeah, that would conclude the questions we got from you guys. Thank you very much for that contribution. As I said, if you want to get your voice heard, make sure to let us know your questions when we tweet out information for episode 2. So yeah, please check the description for our Twitter account and follow that by all means. So yeah, nice. This would be the end of the first episode of 59 Gaming's Dokkan Battle podcast. I hope you all enjoyed that new format, but don't turn off the stream just yet. In a couple of hours from now, we will kick off our first Twitch live stream with Among Us. So definitely don't miss that. And yeah, we will be back next week, same time with episode 2. Because I won't be available next week due to my birthday, someone else will take over for me. You guys want to guess who our next guest is going to be? Let us know in the comments or in the chat section right here. And yeah, to quote unquote my guests, thank you so much for stopping by, and of course a big shout out to everyone who contributed to the podcast and made this possible, especially Hydros, Moldox, Kamogawa, and Bebop, who increased the production value a lot. It's off the charts. We greatly appreciate that. And yeah, the core team, anything you would like to add?
Yeah, just a managerial note here. Guys, let us know in the comments after this video goes live, because the VOD will go up soon after this is over. Let us know in the comments if you have any suggestions or feedback for us in particular, because again, like I said in the beginning, this is an experiment. It actually went a lot better than I thought it would. I was kind of like, we're going to experience a lot of issues here, but we actually didn't. I think it went really well. So again, if you have any comments, concerns, questions, anything at all, you can always tweet us at, again, the Twitter link is in the description below, but specifically about the podcast, the way it's set up for Dokkan, again, comment down below. Anything that we find is relevant to us or feasible to implement, we'll definitely consider. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and hope you guys enjoy this new sort of format. Anything else you guys want to add?
No, thank you very much to everyone here. And appreciate you guys joining us here on our journey to create 59 Gaming and explore further than that. This is the first piece of content we have on the channel, so definitely appreciate you being here. And again, echoing what Goresh said, any suggestions, recommendations, comments, let us know. We'll be reading, and we'll do our best to make it improve it.
Okay, and as you guys know, we already said that, and yeah, the mods posted that in the chat as well. Dragon Ball Legends is separated. So Goresh, please tell the guys when Legends will be featured on the podcast.
Yeah, so I'm going to make the scheduled stream after the stream is over, but Dragon Ball Legends podcast will be tomorrow, Sunday, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So if that's for people who can't calculate time, I guess we'll sort of do this right now. Let me just think. So right now it's 8:42 for me. So 10, 11, 12. We got 12. That's 15. So in 17 hours and 15 minutes from now, that's when the Legends podcast will go live.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, this will be the end for episode 1, part 3, content free. And with that, I would say, guys, stay healthy, stay safe, and we will see you next week. 59 Gaming out.